Hey Internet, this is Nate. You can also call me Nathan, please never call me Nathaniel. And welcome to my 5 tips for jumping into the Planet Crafter Prologue. To get this started off, if you've been watching my streams the last couple of days, I played a lot of this game. Actually got through the end game late yesterday evening and thought, hey, you know what? If somebody else wants to play this game and jump into the Prologue, what would I recommend? So these again are my top 5 tips. I have prepared them all without any spoilers. So you can watch this and it shouldn't spoil your game. And with that, let's just jump into tip number 1. So there's a certain point in the prologue where you're going to get this message that you've reached the end of the prologue content. This happens at 200k TI or terraforming index. However, in reality, this is actually not the end of the game that is available. In order to experience the full available content, what you need to do is go into Steam, go right click on the Planet Crafter Prologue, click on Properties, go to Beta, and select the Development branch. When you reload your game, and by the way, your save will be maintained, it won't override your save, you will actually be able to continue on all the way through the current end game. For tip number 2, this is around where to place your starting base. Like most games in this genre, you often have that temptation to want to build your base exactly in your starting area. I did the same thing. I don't want to spoil, but highly recommend you don't build your base next to your starting area. My recommendation, I think this spot up here on this hill, you can kind of recognize it because there's this rock leaning on this other rock at the kind of top of this hill. That I think is probably the ideal starting space for a lot of different reasons. But basically anywhere beyond that rock, heading kind of towards this wreckage out here, this is going to be the best spot for you long term. Again, for a lot of reasons, but for one reason I won't spoil in particular, you definitely don't want to build by your starting base. For tip number 3, a lot of games have a flashlight that you can add or invest into, often with very little payout. The Planet Crafter is very different. You're going to want that flashlight really as early as possible. The main reason is there's a lot of areas that you're going to be exploring later, or actually relatively early in the game, that you will need that flashlight in order to navigate. So highly recommend prioritize that flashlight, get it early. Once you get the flashlight, you can explore some areas which will greatly increase the pace of your progression as you move forward through the game. Tip number 4, this is just a tip to explore basically everywhere. There are some hidden treasures. I mean, you see these blue packs everywhere. There are some like special packs. I don't want to spoil where they're at, but I would just say look everywhere, explore, especially look for these special packs, these golden packs. They make a huge impact in how quickly you can progress and have some really great supplies inside of them. There are 8 of them hidden throughout, so explore everywhere. And enjoy the exploration. It's one of the best parts about the game is just kind of experiencing all of the different areas and exploring all of the map. And finally, tip number 5, this is more of an end game tip, but again, without spoiling much, what I will say is while it may not seem super useful early, you should start very early on getting those food production equipment up online. In particular, you will want eggplants. So even if they seem completely useless now, as soon as you can do food production and as soon as you have eggplant seeds, start getting eggplants. It'll make a huge difference later on in the game, for reasons that you'll discover as you play through the rest of the game. So with that, those are my 5 tips. Really enjoyed the prologue. I'm very excited to see how the game will look when it finally comes out. And with that, again, this has been Nate. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have not yet subscribed and want to see similar types of content, that would be the best way to do so. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.